Mr. Speaker, some times back, I had requested a communication from you on matters relating on the bicameral parliament, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Shungwa, Mr. Speaker, as you are aware that there were issues that were raised and our colleagues in the Senate went to court.
Order. Honorable Bukoso, take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, some times back, I had requested a communication from you.
It is actually pending.
It's pending, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, on a judgment that was made by the Supreme Court concerning the conduct of the bicameral system, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that communication or that ruling, whatever how you want to describe it, will be very important to us, Mr. Speaker, because, Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that has been pending since the new constitution, since we had a National Assembly and the Senate, Mr. Speaker. People encroaching on other people's work and territory, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even after the judgment of the Supreme Court, it's in bad faith for the Senate to go back again to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can review their judgment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is really, really in bad faith, because it is not the National Assembly that went to court. It is the Senate that went to court. They went to the High Court, they went to the Court of Appeal, and they ended up in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court did a judgment, Mr. Speaker. Now again, the Senate to go back to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can review their judgment, Mr. Speaker, is really in bad taste and in bad faith, Mr. Speaker. If the Constitution has given you certain mandate and you are not satisfied with it, Mr. Speaker, the honorable thing to do is in the next election, you run for a seat that you think has the powers that you need, Mr. Speaker. You run as a member of National Assembly. You don't encroach on other people's constitutional mandate, Mr. Speaker. Because even us, as National Assembly, there are functions that we cannot do that belongs to the Senate. And they're very clear, Mr. Speaker. And there are functions that belong to the National Assembly. So if you feel, and there are functions that belong to governors, I cannot now masquerade as a governor. I can only be a member of the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. And to make it even better, there was a judgment from the Supreme Court that demarcated the boundaries of the two houses, Mr. Speaker, that money bill can originate only from the National Assembly. This and this can only be done by the National Assembly. Counties, bills that concern counties, there must be consultation between the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Speaker of the Senate. There's clarity now, Mr. Speaker, through that judgment. But when I was told the other day, Mr. Speaker, the Senate has filed another case, a petition in the Supreme Court, so that the Supreme Court can review that judgment, Mr. Speaker, I really felt that is in bad taste. That is undermining the operations of the Parliament as a whole, not only as the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And if a senator feels that the Senate does not have enough work or does not have enough power, then come where power is. Mr. Speaker, some of the jurisdictions in the world, the Senate only sits quarterly. 3 months, they sit only once to look at issues that concern, elderly people and, this kind of things, Mr. Speaker. So I don't want to go that direction, Mr. Speaker, but what I want to say is that let us stick to the judgment of the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, and I request you, many of our members here have not read the judgment, or maybe they have not taken time to go through it, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to beseech you so that you can condense it in few words, the judgment, so that we know next time we don't encroach to what belongs to old people and what belongs to the youth, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, majority.
Honorable Speaker, let me join the leader of minority in expressing concern over that issue. But Honorable Speaker, I want to take a different trajectory because